This is Bob.
I don't forget anything at all.
Bob has hyperthymesia, a condition that gives him a superhuman memory. He can recall tiny details and emotions from any point in his life since age 5.
Well, the first time I remember my memory was somewhat different was when I was in high school, and I'd be talking to some childhood buddies about something that happened when we were 10 or 11, and they wouldn't remember the event, and I would say, yeah, you remember, it was November 3rd. It was a Friday, and they would just kind of, what are you talking about? When I was verified with the University of California, Irvine in 2008, when they gave me these memory tests, and they said this guy has what's called HSAM, highly superior autobiographical memory, and at that time, I was the fourth one who was identified that had this type of memory.
Bob thought everyone had memories like his, but he was wrong. He can recount almost everything from the last 50 years of his life.
I'll remember all my Christmases since I was about 5, all my birthdays, New Year's Eve, Super Bowl parties. Not only stuff about myself, but also about a lot of my friends and acquaintances and colleagues.
Bob's talent definitely has its perks. When he lost his phone one time, he was able to recreate his entire contact list from memory.
The caudate nuclei, which is the part of the brain that retains memory, they found out that it's 7 times larger than the average person. And so they don't know if it's the chicken or the egg. They don't know if it's because we're using that part of the brain or maybe we were born that way. I think we were born that way. But again, it's the caudate nuclei, the part of the brain that retains memory, is 7 times larger. So it's kind of like if you compared it to somebody's height, we would be like 10 or 12 feet tall.
As spectacular as Bob's memory is, there also comes some challenges. They say that time heals all wounds, but not for Bob. He can't forget the vivid memories of painful breakups and other traumatic events in his life.
You know, when my dad died when I was younger, when I was 19, and then years later my younger brother died, and they both died of cancer. So I was cognizant, obviously I remember my dad being sick and dying, but then I felt this, I could feel those feelings coming back. They were very intense, they were very immense feelings that I was experiencing, and I felt like I was back when I was 19 years old, even though I was in my early 60s when my brother was dying, but I felt the same way, and I think that's kind of where sometimes the experiences are so indelible and so vivid. Even though they're 30, 40, 50 years ago, they're still vivid. And if they're a bad memory, sometimes they'll come rushing back and, with a vengeance, so to speak. If I'm going through something that's similar that happened maybe 5, 10, even 30 or 40 years ago, then I feel like I'm going through the same experience. And it can be very emotional. So that's probably the worst thing about having HSAM or a super memory.
Bob copes with his condition by focusing on the good moments, and his experiences have taught him a thing or two about happiness.
Fortunately, I've had more good days than bad days, but I think, memories are good for me, whether they're good or bad, because the good memories I have are these warm, fuzzy feelings that I can go back, these experiences I have, and I can recall them so vividly, and they're so, I feel like I'm back there, like if I'm back in the 1970s, I feel like I'm wearing those ugly leather shoots and high platform shoes. It's kind of like having a time machine where I can go back to those times and relive them, and I feel like I'm really back there. And then the bad memories is even a good memory as well, because I can go, wow, I'm glad I'm not going through that anymore. I'm glad I'm not on that job. I'm glad I'm not around that person anymore. So even the bad memories are good memories per se, because I'm in the present now and those are in the past, and I go, wow, I'm glad that's over.
If Bob had any one message to give to the world, here's what it would be.
When you're going through a unique experience in the present, try to embellish it, try and capture that memory, be very cognizant of it, because in the future, particularly if it's a unique experience, something that may never happen again, an event, a reunion or whatever, a gathering of people that may never happen again. So when you remember that 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, you're going to be able to retrieve it, you're going to be able to recall it much more vividly, your regular memory. So be very cognizant of your surroundings, capture the moment, so to speak.
I'm Drew Binsky, and thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe down there if you want to see more inspiring people stories, and check out my main channel below where I bring you on the most epic adventures from every country. Also, I'm giving away for free all of my best travel tips and secrets for finding cheap flights on that middle link. Until next time, stay safe, be spontaneous, and just go.